Imagine you're in high school and you just found out that you were pregnant. What do you do? Who do you talk to? What resources are there out there for you? It's my pleasure to introduce our TSI program manager, Sandra, and she has a couple of the TSI advocates that serve all the young mothers in our community. How you doing, Sandra?
Hi, Joaquin. Thank you for having us. I'm doing well. As Joaquin mentioned, I am Sandra Mendoza. I am the Teen Success Inc. program manager.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Conchpay. I'm one of the South Monterey County advocates.
Nice, thank you.
And I'm Gabrielle Messina. I am an advocate for the Monterey County Salinas area.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have all of you here. And it's awesome to have, you three here to just provide, a little more information on TSI, what we do and how we do it. So why don't you all tell us a little bit more about your program?
So Teen Success Inc. is for young mothers who are between 14 to 24 years of age that have not graduated high school. Some of them, when they do enroll in the program, are not even enrolled in high school. So we do work with any young moms that have not completed high school or their GED.
What an amazing program. So why don't you all share just like a very significant memory, something that's like right there, like weighing on your heart, something that has just, touched your heart in a way that you just want to share, right? Why don't you share, some of those memories or some of those moments or some of those stories with us?
A significant memory I have that I get emotional thinking about is seeing two of my members graduate from college when they didn't even think they were going to graduate from high school. And when I talk to them, sit with them, and we kind of just recap their life, I feel like it's just unreal for both of us to see how far they've come and like how big their babies have gotten and where they're heading, and to just hear their goals and their career goals and the goals they set for themselves in their life. It's like, wow, like I'm so honored to sit here next to you and be a part of your journey and to help support you on it. I think I'm trying not to get emotional when I feel like it really warms my heart, honestly, just to help and be a part of their growth and their journey. And for them to just share their stories with other moms. I heard a young mother in high school tell another young mother at a peer group, like, wow, she's in college. If she can do it, I can do it. And just for them to also just be role models for the younger mothers in our program. It's just amazing.
I worked with a young mom who had to drop out of high school when she found out she was pregnant. And that was more because of the fear of stigma and also parents. So they were just very concerned of what the teachers would say. So they did encourage her to drop out of high school. So when I started working with her, she had been out of school for almost 2 years. And I came in just ready to motivate. I had all these tools ready, expecting some resistance from her just because it's been a while. But when I told her about school, she was like, yes, she was so ready. I let her know the steps. And before I even met with her again, she had already done everything on her own. So she really just needed one person to tell her, do this, you can do this. So I always just think about that. I was that one person for her. And I just think, what if she didn't have that support at that time? How much longer would it take? Or would she even be enrolled in school?
It's always that one person who can just advocate for them and just in their corner, like I've said a bunch of times today. But just to add on to the success stories of some of our members, I had a member who we thought she was done with school and she was just waiting till the spring, this past spring, to graduate. Turns out she needed one more packet and some community service hours that we didn't know about. And she knocked the packet out of the way. And then it came down to the hours, the community service hours. And she was doing it week by week, but then had to go back to work. And so she was like, Jasmine, like, I don't know if I can finish it. And I was like, girl, you got it. You can do it. Graduation's right around the corner. And we were just in talk with the principal at the school. She's like, she's right there. She's right there. And it was the last day, the day before graduation. And I called her up. I said, did you turn that packet in? Did you finish it? Did you finish that certification that would just finish the rest of her hours? And she said, I just finished it and I'm on my way. It was, I think, 3:00. And I said, you better run. You better run and hope that she's there. And I showed up the next day, which was graduation, and I saw her in her cap and gown with her son by her side. And I was just so proud that it was that cutoff, but she did it. And I was just talking with another advocate who was there with me at graduation. And we were kind of recapping with the teachers and the principal, and that we were all so proud of not just all of our members, but specifically her, because she wasn't going to make it. And just the celebratory walk that you get to do crossing that stage is such a big thing. And I'm so happy that she got to experience that with her son by her side. It was just so cool to see. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of all of our members. And I just can't wait to see the rest of our members I can't wait to see the rest of our members be able to walk across that stage too, because it is such a monumental moment in their life.
Thank you for that. That's amazing. And I mean, and these are 3, right, stories, right? 3 of the stories that I know there's dozens and, hundreds of, we've talked about this, quite a bit. And, you've shared some of the other, members' stories with me outside of, the podcast. And I mean, every story is just mind blowing. And, these stories are just, like I said, just one story of very many of success that these mothers have seen, right? And this is just the first step for them, and now the next steps for them will be, right, whatever it looks like for them, a trade school, continuing education, work, whatever that may be. They have this moment, right, that y'all help them with, to kind of hang their hat on and know that anything is possible, right, as long as they have support. So thank you all so much for those amazing stories. I really appreciate them. And I mean, it just speaks volumes to the program. So thank you so much. Are there any new updates going on with your program? Any new changes? Anything coming up, in the recent future, I guess?
We are going to be expanding more to the Peninsula area. So we're going to be hiring about 2 new advocates, right? Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll be expanding, like Gabby mentioned, Peninsula and North County.
Why don't you tell us about how many other advocates we have and like what territories we're currently covering and where we're providing support?
Yeah, and then I'll share a little bit about the past as well. So when the program first partnered with Harmony at Home, we had 1 site in Salinas. We had 1 advocate who was supporting 15 moms. We currently have 4 advocates, and we cover South County and Salinas area. And at the moment, our advocates are supporting about 60 young moms. So we're now a team of 5.
That's awesome. Well, that's so great to hear. And I know that there's such a need out there, right? Why don't you, tell us how you believe your program is impacting our community? What are we doing and how are we doing it to positively impact not just the moms, but, the families, in our area?
Yeah, I think I can answer this one. I believe that TSI has created a positive impact, not just for our community, but specifically our moms. Not just 1 generation, but 2 in our mission. And just knowing that they are being supported and that someone is in their corner, I think that goes a long way for the moms, and just to have their back in these moments. It'll impact them in the long run, and then, for future, looking at rates and everything as well.
That's amazing that we are providing that kind of support. And just to touch a little bit more on that support, right? I know Sandra, right? We talk, almost daily, right? About kind of what you do and how you're supporting your team, and how, we have such a strong team to support all these moms, right? As advocates, right? What do you do, for the mom? Let's say I'm a new mom, and I just, found or heard about you and I was referred over to you. What does that process look like, and how do you support me?
Well, we get to know you. We want to know your story. We want to know where you're at in life so we can meet you there and support you. Yeah. We spend a lot of time building rapport in the beginning with new mothers, to also for them to get to know us. Yeah. It's always good to just establish that bond and trust as well, because we want them to know like whatever they share with us is a safe space, and whatever they share with us, whatever kind of support they need, we're going to find it. We're going to work with each other to find out how to support them.
That's amazing.
If they are not in school, we will help them get into school. We'll ask them questions like, okay, well, what's your schedule look like? Do you have childcare? Yeah. Do you have transportation? Do you do better in person, or do you do better online? So things like that, just figuring out pretty much everything about them and finding out how to support them. Some members, it's like a one step at a time. Some members want to hit the ground running. Yeah. So it's just depending on your story, and how fast you want to complete your goals.
Do we help them with like resources, like any, tangible things that they can take away? Being a parent myself, right? I know how expensive, right, it can be to have a child. So can you talk to me, in ways, that we support them in those ways, right? With tangible items, but also maybe some other ways we can support them, in ways that can't be measured, right, by, an item,
So we provide diapers twice a month to our mothers, also giving them wipes once a month, and sometimes, there's gift cards here and there, which is always nice, a little treat for them. We also do provide books for them through the Bring Me a Book Foundation. So we always are like, it's so important to read to your children. How long do you read to them a day? And then they're like, 10 minutes. And then the next day we'll give them a book, or the next time around, and they're like, my baby really liked the pop-up books. And I'm like, okay, let me give you some more. And so every week they're like, okay, we're reading it more and more. So that's always nice to see. On top of, the tangible stuff, we are the bridge to getting them the resources. There's so many resources. There's so many organizations just waiting to help. So like us, we just want to get our name out there and just speak with other organizations in the area. And as we are connecting with others, we're able to build connections with other organizations and hopefully find places for our members to get more support, because we can only do so much. So there's other organizations who are, again, just waiting to help. So getting them connected with them as best as we can to their needs, that's something else that we do too.
Being a parent, I know how expensive it is to raise a child. And I know there's a lot of challenges that we face, right? So, can you tell me about, some experiences that your teen moms have shared with you, or maybe some, stories, or, just kind of how they feel like after they know that they found you and they've landed in a place where they're safe, right? Can you talk to me about that, kind of those experiences and what they've gone through and what they're sharing with you?
I immediately thought of our peer learning groups that we do during the school year. A lot of our young mothers don't realize that there are so many young mothers just like them going through the same thing until they meet them and they're sitting in a circle with them and everybody's sharing their stories and they're very similar. So it's just really beautiful to see that we are building a community for them to also connect and build relationships with other young mothers, so they can also be each other's support.
Yeah.
Yes, peer support is definitely very important. And then to speak a little bit on individual support, I've definitely worked with some young moms that in the beginning, they're very shy. They're used to whenever they share, they get judged. That might be from their teachers, even parents, unfortunately. So then they find someone that they can just connect with and have a safe space to share freely. And it's very nice to see them find their voice and kind of become their own advocates.
That's so empowering, right? To basically learn this news or have given birth to a child, and then you basically, in some cases, right, are kind of told that that's it. Like, that's kind of life. And it's, in some cases, they're told that life is over. I mean, have you heard that from some of your teen moms? Have they shared those things with you?
Yeah, I definitely have. I had a young mother who really thought, she was like, I'm going to have to drop out of college because my parents told me my life was over. Yeah. She didn't really have much support from like the dad. So she's like, I have to work. I need to take care of my son. And it's amazing to see her mindset from there, and then just her transition and growth, and seeing how she not only graduated high school, but she also graduated college. And now she's like, she's walking in a totally different mindset. So Yeah, we have seen those stories. And I wanted to speak more to what Sandra said about just seeing them grow. I think it's a real treasure for us to sit and watch that growth. And because when you're in it, you don't really realize you're in it when you're helping them until you're like, wow, you've really come a long way. And then it's like, you're like a proud mom to the mom, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Just to see them along their journey where they were low or felt like, or they have shared like, oh, I don't think I could do it. And we're like, you are only 10 units away. You can do it. Just power through. And, you know, you're right there. You're right at the finish line. And sometimes that last couple steps is always the hardest. But, you know, sometimes they need that extra push and for them to realize, like, I can do it. But to be there along with during their journey, again, like they are able to reflect and be like, wow, I did that. And to see that in their growth, it's just really beautiful to see, and them realizing it too. I feel like it's a good setup for them in the future. That is their first like big accomplishment, is high school graduation.
Yeah.
It is the foundation, and it'll set them to want to complete and achieve more and bigger things. And so I think that just sets a different mindset for not just them, but for their children to also see, like, my mom did that with me here, and it was hard. So it's great.
Absolutely. It's like you said, right? Changing generations, right? You're not just affecting the mom, right? That we're helping and that we're, you know, promoting education and we're helping do our best with secondary education, right? It's also, like you said, their children that get to experience it, get to see it, and their memory, right, of their mom, it's going to be one of someone who's pushing through, right, who has had all these barriers kind of put in front of them. And in some cases, right, from what you're saying, their support is shut down, right? So it's like they're doing it alone, you know, because of whatever decision was made, right? And it's just unfortunate, but it's amazing that we're able to provide that support for them, that we're able to be there for them as that support figure when they may not have that there. And, you know, when they start to see success, I feel like almost, you know, their families see that, right? That they're not willing to give up and they're not willing to just shut down, you know, and they just continue to push forward. And, you know, I just think it's beautiful, right? It's amazing, right? And so much respect for what you do, for all three of what you do, and for the support that we provide to our community in that way. And like we said, right, we're continuing to grow. Hopefully we're able to add on more mothers that we're able to support on the peninsula and North County. So why don't you, you know, share about any events that recently passed, or, you know, share any events that recently happened, you know, some shed some light, right, some positive, you know, events that we just did for some of the teen mothers.
So we're definitely shifting back to in-person, so that's exciting because we did do some virtual events, but of course it's always different to have that in-person connection. So we recently had an end-of-the-year trip.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you want to share a little bit about that.
We went to Gilroy Gardens.
That's fun.
Right. It was perfect as everyone's getting out of school, and it's like, oh, I can celebrate. I'm done with this year, or I'm done with high school, or even college. So
that's exciting.
Right. So it was just a really fun way just to celebrate the end of the year. We had about 25 moms.
Yeah, 27 moms and 25 babies.
So we had a big turnout.
That's amazing.
Yes, we love, and as Sandra said, as we're shifting back, more moms are like, okay, I wanna be present. I wanna get involved. So having this be our first summer event, as we're shifting to in person, I think this was a good start and a good turnout. But I've only heard great feedback from all the moms and their kids saying that they had a blast and they can't wait to take their kids back to Gilroy Gardens. It was so cute to see the little babies play with each other, the moms building connections with other moms, getting their numbers, setting up play dates. So everything. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah, it was also a treat for our mothers. I know I had a couple moms tell me, like, I have never done anything like this before. And they also said, like, I had no idea there were so many moms like me. So it was just really good to just, give them that experience and those memories with their babies. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things too, right? It's like, it's the experience, it's the memories, right, that we're creating, or we're helping create, right? It's the openness for the mothers to come out and, experience that. And just kind of, for some that are closed down, that maybe don't have that support or don't know what that support looks like, it's good for them to kind of get that experience and to know there are people like me out there. There are people that also are sharing in a similar situation or similar experience. And, parenting is hard. So to be able to do it with somebody else, to be able to do it with another, person that, is going through a similar situation like yourself and having parent friends, it's amazing. It's fun. It just makes it funner, right? That you're able to share in that experience. So that's awesome. That's a very exciting event. Are there any future events that we're looking at having? Is there anything in the works? What do we got going on there?
We got a few things, actually.
All right.
Next week, on the 5th and the 7th, we have 2 summer splash events where water play is always fun, especially as the weather is getting a little bit warmer. We'll have one in Salinas and then one in South County, so we can meet our members at least halfway, because transportation's always an issue. And then late July, we will be having Jonathan from Children's First come out and do our Children's First parent picnic.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That one is exciting. I believe that one's open to our members and their partners if their partners want to come as well.
That's great. And I mean, the Children's First education is great. It's amazing. It teaches, just to kind of give everybody a little snapshot into that, it teaches, the parents how to communicate with one another. It teaches the children, if they're old enough, how to communicate with their parents. And it just really teaches them how to have a relationship with and for their children, right? Whether it's together or whether it's, parenting or co-parenting apart. So it's an amazing class that they're going to be able to get. And yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad, right? We're using, a couple of our programs and kind of helping educate as much as we can to break those cycles, right? That we want to end those cycles that continue to happen. So that's amazing. That is awesome. Any other events that we have going on or any other things that we can think of that, we want to share in regards to TSI?
That's it for the summer events, but in the fall, we're definitely planning ahead and we'll have a lot of engaging events then.
Awesome. That's amazing. So just so people know out there, right, if they want to get in contact with TSI or they want to get a hold of, y'all wonderful ladies, what do they do? How do they reach out to you? How do they get this process started to be a part of this program?
Yeah, so you can visit our Harmony at Home website. Right there, we do have our contact information, and we also have a QR code that we can easily share as well.
You heard it first right here. That's how you're able to reach out to these wonderful ladies to get some more information on TSI, how to get support with that program. If you just want to learn more information about it, feel free to reach out. If you are a partner or community organization, reach out to us as well. We'd love to connect with you, talk to you, how we can just collaboratively support our community, support the young mothers that need this support. Okay. So with that being said, if you are a young mother or going to be a young mother and you do find yourself in this situation where you do need help, we are here for you. If you do find out that, the situation happened to you where you are going to be a teen mother, just know that you do have support out there. You do have resources and you do have people that are willing to, do whatever they can to help you through that process. So you're not alone. Just know that we are Harmony and inviting you to our home.